What if one of the most feared military commanders in African history was not a man, but a woman? Not a queen remembered for marriage, romance, or royal scandal, but for strategy, conquest, and empire building. Her name was Queen Amina of Zazzau. Her story has been passed down for centuries, sometimes as history, sometimes as myth, sometimes deliberately distorted. But behind the legends stands a real woman who changed the political and economic landscape of West Africa. This is not folklore. This is power. This is a story. To understand Queen Amina, we must first understand the world she ruled. Long before the colonial borders, northern West Africa was home to a network of powerful states known as the Hausa states. This included Kano, Katsina, Gobir, Zaria, and Zazzau. They were connected by vast trade routes stretching north into the Sahara, east towards the Nile corridor, south into forest regions rich with gold and kola nuts. Caravans moved endlessly across these routes, carrying salt, leather, horses, textiles, gold. In this world, land alone did not equal power, movement did. Whoever controlled trade routes controlled wealth, weapons, alliances, and survival. At the center of this network stood Zazzau, modern-day Zaria in northern Nigeria, and it was here that one of Africa's most formidable rulers was born. Queen Amina was born sometime in the mid-16th century into Zazzau's royal family. Her father, Bakwa Turunku, was a powerful ruler and seasoned warrior. Zazzau was not a passive kingdom. It was militarized, competitive, and ambitious. From the moment she was born, Amina was surrounded by soldiers, strategy, discipline, and authority. Yet, despite this environment, expectations for royal women were still clear. They were to support power, not wield it. Amina would refuse that rule. While other royal women were trained in diplomacy, ceremony, and court life, Amina gravitated towards the training grounds. She watched soldiers drill. She listened to generals debate strategy. She studied how terrain, timing, and morale determined victory. She trained relentlessly, riding horses at full speed, mastering swords and spears, building physical endurance, learning battlefield command. This was not encouraged, but it could not be stopped. By her teenage years, Amina was already known across Zazzau for her courage and discipline. She was not playing at war, she was preparing for it. When her brother Karama ascended the throne, Amina's rule became clearer. Rather than being sidelined, she was elevated. Amina became head of the military. This was unprecedented. She did not command from a distance, she ruled with soldiers. She planned campaigns. She studied enemy movements and logistics. For 10 years, she helped expand Zazzau's influence. Under Karama's reign, Zazzau grew stronger, richer, and more feared. And much of that strength bore Amina's imprint. Then Karama died, and everything changed. After Karama's death, Zazzau stood at a crossroads. Tradition could have dismissed Amina. Instead, the kingdom chose experience over custom. They crowned Amina, not as a temporary ruler, not as a caretaker, but as queen. She was battle-tested, respected by soldiers, feared by rivals, and she had a vision far larger than Zazzau's borders. Queen Amina did not believe power should sit still. Almost immediately, she launched military campaigns that would last for more than 30 years. Her armies moved across Hausaland, parts of modern-day Niger, regions stretching towards the Niger River. These were not reckless invasions, they were calculated expansions. Queen Amina understood something essential. Empires are built on routes, not just cities. She targeted regions that controlled trade corridors. With each conquest, Zazzau grew wealthier. Zazzau grew safer. Zazzau grew feared. Her rule transformed Zazzau from a city-state into a regional power. Stories of Queen Amina traveled faster than an armies. Cities often surrendered before battle began, not because she was unusually cruel, but because she was effective. She punished rebellion swiftly. She rewarded loyalty generously. She ruled with consistency. Her reputation became a weapon. When her banners appeared on the horizon, leaders knew resistance was costly. Queen Amina did not command from palace walls, she ruled at the front. She issued orders directly. She fought alongside her soldiers. This shattered every expectation of leadership, not because she was a woman, but because she was exceptional. In a male-dominated military culture, her authority was unquestioned. Competence spoke louder than tradition. Queen Amina understood that conquest alone was not enough. Power had to be secured. Around many conquered cities, massive defensive walls were constructed. This became known as Walls of Amina, the Walls of Amina. Their purpose was clear: prevent rebellion, protect trade routes, mark permanent authority. Some of these walls still stand today in northern Nigeria. They are not stories, they are evidence. Over time, Queen Amina's life became tangled with rumor. Stories claimed she took lovers in every conquered city and had them killed afterward. Most historians view these stories with skepticism. Why? Because history often punishes women who rule alone. A woman who did not marry, did not submit, did not soften her power, became threatening. What is known is this: Queen Amina ruled independently. She shared power with no one. She did not apologize for ambition, and that made her unforgettable. Queen Amina is believed to have died during a military expedition far from Zazzau. There was no quiet retirement, no surrender of command. Even in death, she was leading. Her empire endured, her influence lingered, but her name slowly faded from mainstream history. Queen Amina matters because she destroys the myth that African women were passive in history. She proves that African women led armies. African women ruled empires. African women shaped economies. She was not an exception. She was erased. Queen Amina of Zazzau was not a myth. She was a general, a strategist, a builder of empires. If you're inspired by Queen Amina, give this video a like and share it so more people know her name. And if you want to hear more stories of women who shaped history, unearthed, untold, and unstoppable, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because every woman has a story worth telling, and we are here to tell it. This is our story, remembered truthfully.